Okay, right. I've been watching this folklore thing on YouTube, and they were talking about the species in the Philippines called the Mananangal. And so I think if I can mix the black anise with the Mananangal, I'll come up with a demon called the Manani. And you know how, like, the cave dwelling thing, she's going to be able to travel through any sort of underground tunnel system, so subways and sewage pipes and all of that. So I've written a scene in where she collects a soul through coming up through the toilets like a Golgothan in Dogma. You know, the shit demon in Dogma. She'll come up through the toilet, and because like in Russia they still have like open toilets in that. Um, in some parts of Russia. So I'm going to have a bit where she comes to collect the soul by grabbing him from underneath um, the the poo pipe by his butt and his size and that. Like you'll just see your long claws come up and under his thighs and grab him. Because what she's going to do is that she'll shapeshift and lure people to her cave so that she can feast. But then people that come to her that make uh, promises of sacrifice, like if you do this for me, I'll do this for you. The ones that don't make good on their promise to do the offering and that, she comes to collect them. So the priest, there's going to be like all this stuff hitting the news about all these celebrities and that, and these rich and famous and powerful people who are dying in like the strangest of circumstances. And so then the priest has to go on the hunt to find out what the hell's going on, because he's having those recollections of things that happened as a kid, and he knows it's got to be involved somehow, which is going to lead him to discover a book that was written by King Solomon that nobody knows about, because it said that if you read it, if you're a sinner, you turn to dust before you finish the book. And if you're a saint, obviously, like it unlocks superpowers. So the priest has to read this little secret, unknown book called the Book of Hockham Hackham for now. I'm just calling it. Um, and yeah, it unlocks his powers because King Solomon had the powers. He had the Midas touch in that. So yeah, so it will give the priest this Midas touch, and then he finds out that he is the part of the Holy Trinity, the Holy, the Father of the Holy Trinity. And then, of course, the King and the Quantum Menace are the Son and the Holy Spirit. So one has to present the crest, one has to present the knowledge, and the other has to present the blood. And when the three come together, it opens the portal and lets the gods and demigods and angels and archangels and that to come through the portal to go through and remove all the devils and demons that have been going around wreaking havoc on earth. So I don't know whether to call it the Manani or the Black Manani, but in the cave, she'll be like all scuttly like a spider. But then when she takes off at night to go and collect souls, she's like a flying demon with bat wings, and she has a tongue. Apparently, the Mananangal has a tongue like the smoker from Left for Dead. So she'll be like, she uses it to whip, but she takes the soul of babies and pregnant women and their babies. But she won't do that in this movie because it's like I'm just mixing things together. So I need to come up with a name for the cult that is doing all the worshipping to Manani, and then I need to come up with a name for the devil that the Manani works for, who the Manani is the gatekeeper to. So yeah, so we'll be able to write all sorts of things. And I said I want to be able to have a scene in it where the priest has to go to the pyramids. So we'll need to go to a deserty bit in Russia or somewhere in Eastern Europe that's a bit deserty, and make it look like he's gone into the Egyptian pyramids to decipher some hieroglyphs and that, because then it gives us the opportunity to do something a bit Egyptian-y in there, paint some hieroglyphs in that, where he's got to go and decipher things down in the chambers which reminds me of a dream that I had where I was talking about going down into the chambers in Isis, cracking open a golden egg and rubbing the oil on my feet. It reminds me of that. Somehow I could do something, put that in there. So, yeah, so what do you reckon? So for now, it's just, she's either going to be called the Black Manannis or just the Manannis. So you got Baphomet, Lucifer, Baal, Molech, and Manannis. But why is Manannis not in the Bible? Kind of like the Christian version of Armor and Ma'at, it sounds like I've created. So the book of Hokhacham, the Hakahokum. Um, yeah, so that's what I have so far. What do you think sounds better, the Black Manannis or just the Manannis? We made an offering to the Manannis. What do I have to do to to cut my break around here? Make an offering to the Black Manannis? What do I have to do to get a job around here? Make an offering to Manannis? What sounds better? The thing is, in the movie, if you say that, that's you signing a deal with the demon to say, if you give me the role, I'll make an offering for you. So be careful what you say because the universe holds you at your every word. So then she comes to collect their soul. She gives him the job and then he doesn't make the offering. So now she's going to come and get him, like that sort of thing. So how she gets him will be lots of different ways. Pushing one out like a story of a high rise building or car getting stuck on the train tracks. Remember, like in the Omen, it was all lots of different ways. So I kind of like the idea of it doing like that, unless she's, the demon flying around at night. So we'll have to come up with a way to have a flying demon without using graphics where possible. Maybe blue screen. Blue screen's fine, and definitely no AI. So what do you reckon?